known as like I hate the phrase, but startup city. It's never really known as that, but I've always felt like it could be. We're never going to have the broader facilities that London has, for example, for attracting an international network of entrepreneurs, but I don't think that's a problem. Things have been changing in Manchester, especially in recent weeks, I've found. There are a number of projects to help and support startups that are bubbling away under the surface that should be announced soon, which really excite me. The Manchester Startup Digest started recently, and that's delivering the latest events for startups to our inboxes every fortnight. Thank you to Ian. And Coral as well. Projects like Northology, they aim to document what Manchester's doing, and they look very promising indeed. I've got the BBC here doing very interesting R&D work. If you come on to Social Media Cafe Manchester tomorrow, Ian, who's there, is going to be doing a really interesting demo of some technology they're developing there as well. So lots to kind of be interested in there. I'm in touch with lots of people around Europe, on tech scene around Europe, and it's amazing how much, just even in recent weeks, people start talking about Manchester more. And so there's ideas around accelerators, around co-working spaces, conversations that are going on. So people are really turning their attention to Manchester. And again, thanks to the Websumit Team, I've got, as I said in a blog post today, I've got massive respect for what they do in Dublin and what they've started doing in London as well. So it's great to see them showing up in Manchester as well. It's great stuff. And from a more personal point of view, ever since I did my talk recently, my rant, I suppose, at TEDx Manchester about the startup scene in Manchester, or how things could develop. Every week it seems to get more emails from people saying, oh yeah, we're a startup as well. So there are lots of interesting things going on here, and the common message that comes through is, I don't know what's going on, and I don't know who else is here doing these things. Even Colin, who's going to speak shortly, was saying, I don't really know that many other people in Manchester who are doing things in here. And Colin's got like investment from two of the most respected seed investment groups in the whole of the world, really. So it's really exciting to see that he's based in Manchester. So we do have a long way to go. There's a lot that Manchester can be known for. There's a lot that Manchester can do, and we will get there. I think we can learn a lot from cities like Newcastle. There's a contingent here from Newcastle, people like Paul and Richard here tonight. So it's good to see them here. So do talk to them and see how they help develop a more cohesive scene in Manchester, in Newcastle, a more cohesive community. I don't think we'll ever, obviously, we'll ever be Silicon Valley, but I think there's something uniquely Mancunian that Manchester can offer. I think there's something that goes not just in terms of community, in terms of attitude, in terms of approach to business, which I think Manchester is something great as well. It's also the industries that we can link into here in Manchester, especially media, BBC here, but there's a strong wider media industry here in Manchester in terms of television, radio production and the like. Other industries, the financial sector, there's quite a bit of a base for that in Manchester as well. We do have challenges. London has a problem itself with developers, computer science students, for example, running off to banking jobs and doing computer jobs in the city rather than working in startups. So if London has that problem, we've got that problem 10 times, but we've got the talent at least based here. They may be running off to London, but they're at least in Manchester and know what Manchester's like. You get to stick around and get to startup jobs. That's definitely half the battle. I'm sure there's a lot more. I packed into like 11 notes thing here, or setting Starbucks on here, but I'll leave it there. And well, thank you all for coming down. And please do talk to each other. Please do meet new people. Because I think that Manchester really has a lot of potential, and I'm right behind it. Let's go for it. Cheers.
Another person who's talked today is Colin Tam. So probably not.
Hi there. Hi, everyone here. See, wrestling is So my story is that my wife and I started up in Manchester about 4 years ago. And if you remember, it was the recession, the Great Recession. There was very little talk of entrepreneurship, of technology. And there we were, wanting to disrupt property. And people thought we were crazy, investors thought we were nuts, going into property and starting a company in the middle of the greatest property-related recession. But we worked hard at it, and I really liked what Martin said. I think that there's a uniquely Mancunian approach to building a company. And I think, we keep it real. We don't do very much marketing. You've probably not heard about us. But we work really hard through the dark, Mancunian winters that unites all of us. And that today, is an example of. And pretty easily, we bootstrapped our way into TechCrunch Disrupt, into Seed Camp, into 500 startups. And so last year was a big year for us. We went beta 1. And this year we've gone live now. We've got a few thousand members, few thousand properties. And what Rentlord is, that's the name of my company, is we wanted to create the first ever end-to-end solution for tenants and landlords to rent, a viable alternative to estate agents. So rent online without estate agents. Fully automated, start a contract, find a home, and meet people in your social networks, in your universities and all that. So we were sort of pioneers in social commerce before the term became fashionable. About 3 years ago. We were there at the beginning with Airbnb, before collaborative consumption became fashionable. And it was a very difficult and fragmented process that only through the very friendly people in Manchester, in Manchester we have so much access to talent in 3 big universities, good universities. And that's something that you don't get even in the Valley. I mean, you get lots of talent, of course, but it's so talent-starved because so many companies are there pursuing the same talent. And I think what we lack here is a platform to educate people like ourselves with just an idea and maybe just a passion, to collect us together and work together in that Mancunian way where we work hard and believe and pool together our knowledge and our resources. So hopefully, this will be one of many meetups. I'm really happy and very honored to be invited to talk to you. We're based here in Manchester Metropolitan University in InnoSpace. So nice to meet you. Tweet us at Rentlord and just say hi. Okay? Thank you.
Thanks everybody for coming, and if you stay a while longer, there'll be a little bit of food, and Dave might have some more drinks over bachelors. And in the meantime, you can check out our website. We're doing events in Dublin, London maybe, and hopefully sometime we'll get to Manchester, but our Dublin Websumit is in October, over 2 days with over 200 incredible speakers, so it's a great attending, and it's got a pretty start from the price as well. So thanks guys.